And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. And we're joined for this intro, Mr. Olympia, Shawn Rhoden. Yay! Shawn!
Yes, sir.
How you doing, mate? How's things?
Things are great. Can't complain. It's a brand new year. Super excited. 2021. 2020 was a long year. I think we all could agreed up on that with the pandemic worldwide. New year, new beginning, and a chance for us all to just breathe, hopefully.
Yep.
And the second half of the year.
Of course. Also, mate, happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, Valentine's Day to each and one, and hope you guys are having a wonderful time.
Yep.
To your loved ones.
Yeah. So you and Laura Lee had a lovely day today. What have you? I suppose are you on lockdown now? Because you live out kind of out on the outskirts now, don't you? So you're able to. What's the situation there?
Well, yesterday was Laura Lee's birthday.
Of course, yeah. Happy birthday.
Today's Valentine's Day, so it's a long, amazing. I should say it's going to be a great 4 or 5 days of celebrating both occasions.
It's a very expensive weekend for you two, mate. It's like when someone's birthday and Christmas is right next to each other. It's like, shit.
Yeah, Christmas, birthday, Valentine's Day, just kind of, New Year's just kind of roll into one. But thankful, we've been in Vegas, the past 2 days.
Oh, nice.
Took a drive up from LA, so, things are able to, go to some really nice restaurants, while visiting some friends. So, just enjoying the moment.
Good. Did I see sushi on your Instagram in Vegas?
We had, no, that was, when were we there last night? No, we had Italian.
Oh, you're Italian?
Night.
Okay.
Yeah, that might have been the salmon with shrimp or something that, she ordered a plethora of food and I just sat back and watched.
So who ate the most then, mate? Come on.
She does, at any given day.
Wow, okay.
Any given day, hands down, high metabolism, can eat anyone under or above the table. Sunday to if there was an 8th day of the week.
Yeah. Well,
but that's a good thing for me, because it's because I eat a lot, so it's hard if you're with someone, that you go out to eat and they go, "Can I have a salad?" And you kind of look like a pig.
Yeah. I don't think personally I couldn't go out with a girl that went out and ordered a salad. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's just kind of like one of those things. Like you could have stayed home. I could have had this delivered. So
exactly.
You need someone that could, eat and is not afraid to eat and is not afraid to look you in the eyes and go, "Are you going to have that last piece of bread?" For me, it's a good thing. That means like, okay, we're good.
That's
you
good.
You me when I'm, gorging my face and everything on the table.
Yeah.
And go, "Good Lord, what's wrong with this guy?" So it's great 4 or 5 days. And, the reason why we're here is so that we could take advantage of, just amazing restaurants here in Vegas, so, take advantage of it.
So how far, because you live out in this, because you're kind of like me and Lauren, you kind of moved out into the sticks a little bit. So how far are you from Vegas then? I didn't realize you were that close.
Probably like a 4.5, 5 hour drive.
Oh, still quite a decent drive then.
Yeah, it's a nice drive, especially we came like in the middle of the night when there was no traffic.
Okay.
Or it's literally, if we flew here last year, because we had a friend that was competing, and it was probably a 40 minutes flight, if that long. Like we put the seatbelt on, we were landing.
Yeah.
So, but driving up here, Flex Lewis moved here also, so, we had a chance to meet up with them. So,
Yeah.
and chit chat it. You don't even realize how fast time is going.
Yeah.
Don't you have?
Do you not fancy moving to Vegas? You said because I think Milos has just moved there. Obviously, Jay Cutler's there. Hidetada and Iris are there. Do you not fancy maybe, or do you prefer being out in the kind
this? I mean, it's a nice place to be. I mean, honestly, it's like even LA and a couple other states just moving here. The market is booming. Flex is trying to add a little bit more to the culture and kind of make the dragon layer, like the macro of bodybuilding now. So I think that's, I mean, I wouldn't mind being here, to be honest. We'll see what the future holds. Because it's no state tax.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's handy.
You get to save some money, living out here.
Yeah.
But we're just enjoying the week, the occasions, and this is our second trip since New Year's Eve.
Okay.
And again, it's just a nice little drive to get away from mostly everything locked down in LA.
Yeah, of course. I think a lot of people want to leave LA because of the situation going on, and there seems to be a lot of stressful situations going on in that particular area of the world.
How is that? How is everything down in the UK?
He's like Kalim's laughing. It's locked down, but I mean, I'm unaffected because I kind of live out in the sticks. But I mean, obviously we got no gyms. Gyms are still shut. We'll talk about that a little bit actually. Because we've had Nathan D'Asher on this episode, and of course he's been having a lot of hassles trying to keep his gym open. But it's kind of January, February. It's so cold anyway. I don't think many people want to go out right now. But yeah, we're on like our third lockdown here, mate.
Wow. Well, hopefully all this will get better soon.
Yeah.
For gyms, but you look at a lot of small businesses are going to be lost, because of everything that's going on, and understand that there's a virus and their lives, and that's been taken, but at the same time, we have folks that's losing their livelihood as well, and hoping for the better at this point. That hey, it's 2021, and hopefully things could subside where we could have a better environment all around. And we just have to wait and see and do our best.
Yeah. Individual responsibility.
Do our best.
Well. Yeah. So I saw on your Instagram you're shoulder pressing 315 quite easily, mate. I was quite impressed by that. I was like, 3 plates, that's not bad.
I'm motivated.
Yeah.
I'm inspired. And
did you say inspired or retired? So you broke up
inspired.
There. Inspired. Thank God for that. Sorry, you nearly give me a heart attack then, mate. Sorry. Because you broke up a little bit there, and I was like, I didn't quite get what you said then, so I'm glad you clarified that. Thank you so much.
I'm inspired.
Good. Good.
I took, somewhat of a break towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
And, Laura was, getting ready, and I think the focus, was just watching her and helping her, and, it was better off being in a supporting role, as, part of the team. And right now it's just trying to, there's game shape, and then there is, I told Flex yesterday that, I trained with him, and I was like, that feeling where you're lifting but you're not training.
Right.
I was like, I'm lifting. And probably this is the strongest I've been.
Wow.
And I'm having some really great workouts, some really good lifts, but I'm not training yet.
Okay.
It's surprising to me, because I've never been caught up in how much I lift. but I find myself, at this, point where I'm scratching my head going, did I really just do that?
Yeah.
Like that just happened, and don't have the aches and pains or any of that, just lifting,
Do you think the break did you good? You said you had a little bit of a break. Do you think that did you good, and now you're feeling fresh?
It's done me wonders,
Yeah.
because I put it into perspective as um, since 2012, I've pretty much done shows before, because I was doing, there's a couple of times I did shows before the Olympia,
Yep.
into the Olympia, and then after the Olympia. So
Mm.
there were a couple of years where I was doing like 8, 9 shows, like back to back years.
Did,
And I think my body at some point was like, okay, like take the foot off the gas for a minute.
yeah.
I have, this young lady that's kicking my butt every day. Yeah, still, my Charles Glass, and, I see those, we've been in contact almost every single day. Just trying new diets, new food patterns,
Hmm.
just trying to put herself in a position of, hey, how far can we take this old beat up car? And it's been
Oh, beat up car. Come on. So who are you training with? Are you still training with the gym owner?
No, I'm training with Laura.
Oh, you training with Laura? Okay, so you're the one who films her full workouts, because I mean, she does some serious workouts. There's like 10 different exercises. I mean, I didn't even know that was that many exercises.
I'm the camera guy.
You're the camera guy. So you're a bag carrier at the Olympia, and you're a camera guy in the week.
Camera guy. I mean, you name it. I'll take the plates off and put the plates on. But she's, I don't know, it's like, yep, there's only certain guys that you, in my opinion, I feel as if I could train with.
Yeah.
So I'm never in competition with the guys that I train with. I don't care if they go in the gym and lift a ton. I'm like, hey, good job. That's not going to push me. That's not going to motivate me because the person I'm with is lifting more. That depends on me. Like all that is on me.
Yeah.
For me, it's having someone a good spotter,
Hmm.
and someone that pushes without yelling,
Yeah, yeah.
screaming at you. For me, I'm like, we're done. Like,
But answer me this though: does she click her fingers at you when she needs her weights moving? Does she do this, Shawn? Click, weights moving.
not
Come
even that. She literally just give you that look. Like,
on. Fantastic. Nice.
and in that voice, like, 5 more. And I'm like,
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, but I'm done.
Yeah.
But it's like 5 more. And I'm like, is that a true 5, or is that like, you're going to tell me 5 and then I still got to push for 2 more?
Mm.
So I think that's been, part of the plan of just, having that extra push and that extra motivation is willing to understand, like, how focused you are. Someone to understand what we do.
Yeah.
And understand, like, it takes a lot more than just going to the gym and pick up a 5-pound dumbbell. Like, you can lift for 5 pounds, but what are you going to do, in that time frame that you're lifting that 5 pound? It's, you're going to do slow reps, fast reps, holds. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do with that 5 pound. And it's having that person that understand, okay, we're going to activate this muscle even with 5 pounds.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to scream at you. We're just going to do it.
Yeah, because I've seen you're a very focused, very intense trainer, but there's very little. You're quite quiet. You're quite you could quite easily miss you in the gym. Because you're covered head to toe. You're just kind of quietly in the corner, getting on with it.
That's me. I'm like, hey, I don't want, you have to see me. I was like, I always tell people that I want you to see me on stage.
Yeah.
I don't care if you see me in the gym. I don't care if you think I'm fat in the off season, but when it's time to get on stage, I want you to be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
What's that? we were at the gym, and the other day, and this guy said to me, he goes, the funny thing, he's like, I've followed you for years. He goes, one, I thought you were taller at stage. Two, I thought you were a lot smaller with your clothes on.
Yeah.
He goes, but every time I see you, I'm like, on stage, I'm like, holy shit, he's huge.
Yeah.
And that's the effect that I want, you know. So that's the reason why I never walk around the gym like most guys in a tank top, and because I'm like, it does me no good. It does nothing for me. I don't need my egos to be boosted. Like, you know, that's my ammo. It's you have a purpose and a reason why you're in the gym, and that's, you know, I'm a bodybuilder. What do you do? I'm supposed to be working in, you know, carving out, you know, and you know, building a physique that is seen on stage. To the stage. Yeah. But we spent an entire year building for 15 minutes.
Damn right. So let's talk about the Olympia. Obviously, you were there for Laura. What did you think of the new venue? What had been, obviously, because that was a huge thing. I mean, switching it to 5 weeks out, saying we're taking it to Orlando. What was your feelings on what it was like as a venue?
Well, you know, first for me, I'm like, Vegas is give you that Olympia feeling.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're in Vegas.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you know, it's Olympia.
Ronnie said the same. Ronnie said the same.
It's like, you know, in my mind, that's what you think. You're like, you're going through the process, and you're like, when you get to Vegas, it's like, you don't have to see the venue.
Yeah.
But it's just in the air, like, okay, I'm at the Olympia. So for me, it was a little bit different, a little bit strange being in Orlando. But I must say the convenience of having everything in one place was awesome. Like, you know, the proximity to the hotel, to the show, it's like literally like walking across the street.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty much attached to the hotel.
Okay. Obviously, because I couldn't get there, so I was like, oh, I'm just. Do you think they'll move it? Do you think they'll keep it there, or what's your feelings?
I mean, I would, to be honest. As much as I love Vegas, I think the proximity to everything was for the athletes.
Yeah.
You know, because you got to remember, in Vegas, it's like the Olympia is at the Orleans, the Expo is at the Convention Center. So you're like, you know, just. Everything was so much easier. Like, even the hotel, like, you know, just for people that has, like, you know, grocery shopping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So easy. Like, it's more of a relaxing atmosphere. Okay. And not a lot of walking. Okay. It's like we literally was like elevator, down the corridor, literally across the street, up the escalator, and boom.
Fantastic.
Good show. And everything was just right there. So I think the convenience athlete, you know, was amazing. Like, no stress.
So what was your feelings when you saw Ramy? I mean, do you have any inkling that he was going to really nail it this time?
Yes, because
you did.
I had a glimpse from Chad.
Okay. When you say a glimpse, was it a photo or did you see him in the flesh?
I saw photos.
Okay.
And it was nothing like I've seen. And I've competed against Ramy a lot. So when, you know, Chad was, you know, showed me a couple of pictures, I was like, holy crap. I was like, okay, like this is going to be quite interesting. And I mean, I've said for years, you know, Ramy doesn't need to be a bodybuilder. You know, he's the biggest bodybuilder on stage to begin with.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need 300 pounds. You know, I think, well, Ronnie at his best was never 300 pounds on stage.
True.
But he was peeled inside out.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, seeing Ramy in that condition before the show, I'm like, okay, like this is going to be a battle.
Yeah.
And Phil was coming back, Brandon, so the bright lights, the tan and everything else just kind of bring that together. And I mean, he looks amazing. I mean, he looks really amazing. But we'll see.
Yep. Do you think he can win more than one?
We'll see.
God. Okay, that's a good answer. So, what was your feelings on Phil's comeback, if you want to call it that? Because obviously he had 1 year out.
Okay, let's see. Phil. He looks good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Care to elaborate or?
7 times Mr. Olympia. I think he has done his due diligence, and can't take anything away from that. In my opinion, I think maybe needed more time. There was something was off. He was a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
It was a little bit smaller, and I think he was missing that pop. That Phil has a certain pop about him. Like, it's Phil. Like when he has that. I mean, he has everything else. He had the swag. He had the same demeanor. But I think, he was missing that killer pop that, when he walks out and
the 3D. 3D.
He was missing that 3D look.
Yeah. He was in good condition though, wasn't he? Very good condition. Everything was sharp. Everything was tight. It was like, but like you said, we're always comparing him to those 2011, 2012, 2013.
That's the hard part, It's you're only as good as your last show, and I think that people remember that, and for 7 times Mr. Olympia, I think we even looking great. We go back and we like, but the Phil of the Phil of 2012 was. But the Phil of 2011, we have that in mind because that's what we expect, from any champ. It's like watching Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan left the Bulls and went to Washington to play. We were like, it's not the same Jordan.
Yeah.
It's missing that. As you said, he was missing, in my opinion, that 3D, pop about it. But I mean, his condition was on point.
Yeah.
It's smaller and. For me, I'm never going to take anything away from, an athlete because I know how hard we all work to get on stage, and I know the time that we put in, and we all have that one goal, is to be the best in that day.
Yeah.
And sometimes we miss that mark, and me in 2017, I missed that mark.
Yeah.
It wasn't by much, but I missed that mark by a little.
Yeah.
And. You just said, okay, I can be better. I just feel as if Phil doesn't really have anything to prove to anyone. He's, 7 times Mr. Olympia. How many people could say that?
See, I said this, I had Samir Banu on the show last week, and when he was talking about, I could have won more, I should have won more, I was robbed. And I said, yeah, but mate, I says, you're one of, like yourself, you're one of only 16 men in the last 56 years that has. Well, actually, it's not even the 16 people that have a standout because the first one was in 77. So, however many since Frank Zane have got a standout, to let alone call themselves Mr. Olympia, and you've got one, Samir had one, Phil's got 7. That is something that will never be taken away from you. And when we talk about Ronnie Coleman, we don't say, oh, that was Ronnie Coleman who got 4th place at the 2007 Olympia. We say, there's the 8-time Mr. Olympia. You will always be Mr. Olympia, Sean. Just like Phil.
I told people, listen, whether I won one Mr. Olympia or 10 Mr. Olympia, I'm freaking Mr. Olympia.
Exactly. It's exactly my point.
It's like, I don't care what the number is in front of it. 1 or 10.
Number 14.
Exactly. I am always will be Mr. Olympia.
Always.
That's like all the guys in the history of this sport that has never qualified for the Olympia. And then you look at all the guys that qualified for the Olympia but never made it to the Olympia stage.
Correct.
And he said all the guys that qualified for the Olympia made it to the Olympia stage, but never made it past 16 for years. And then you look at a handful of guys that went to the Olympia and was in the top 5. Any one of those guys that made the top 5, well, the top 4 out of 5 that never actually had a title could have been Mr. Olympia. And then you looked at the few guys, the 16 or 16 guys that could call themselves Mr. Olympia. You'd be an idiot to, let me rephrase that. It would be unwise for you to tell yourself that. And, you know, I could have, would have, I should have. At the end of the day, you're like, you've accomplished something that only a few of us can say that we have.
Bingo.
There are guys out there that's still trying to this day, like, just want to make the top 10.
Yeah.
I know guys that just want to make to the Olympia.
Yeah. I mean, Shawn, you've got guys like Shawn Ray, Kevin DeVrone, Flex Wheeler. You know, these guys are classed as all-time Hall of Famers, bodybuilding legends, and they never won Olympia, yet they have hundreds of thousands of fans all around the world over decades. You know, and they've made a huge impact on people's lives, and yet they've not won the Olympia, yet we still class those as legends. So what does that make a Mr. Olympia?
Good question.
Yeah.
I saw a movie the other day, and the guy says, you know, I don't want to be a legend. I want to be a hero. Do you want to be somebody's hero?
Yeah.
You want to inspire people to be like, hey, at least, you know, that guy was my hero, and, you know, that's what I aspire to be. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we're, you know, the guys that have won, you know, the Mr. Olympia title, we've inspired a new group of, you know, guys coming up that wants to be. I think that's what this sport is all about. There's icons, there's legends, and there's heroes. I mean, Dexter Jackson.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I have to say this. Dexter Jackson, the ageless wonder, won everything, okay?
Everything, multiple times.
Won everything, you know.
Yeah.
In every continent.
Yeah.
No one is ever going to do that again. You know, he's in a class of his own, like literally, like, you know, he's in a class of his own. I was like, nobody is ever going to do what you've done. I was like, you put that into perspective, but he only won one. Only has one Sandow, but what he has done, besides that one Sandow, is amazing.
Unbelievable. 29 pro wins. 29 pro wins.
And I told him a few of those were against me. I felt. He took it from me.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you say to yourself, like, okay, man, okay, one Sandow.
Got it.
I never thought I was going to be a bodybuilder. I didn't want to be a bodybuilder. And I want a Sandow.
You sound like Ronnie Coleman now. I didn't want to be a bodybuilder. I just did it for a free gym membership, you know?
Yeah, Ronnie did it for membership. I did it because I wanted to get in shape to play soccer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know, so.
Yeah.
But you're thankful, you know. Again, you know, Phil is 7 times Mr. Olympia. Can't take anything away from him. And who knows? He might be coming back next year. And he could be better.
Yeah, it could be. Do you think he'll come back again?
Again, if I was him, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
Yeah, because he has nothing to prove.
Yeah.
You know, are you coming back because you want to win, you know, 8th, 9th, 10? Or are you coming back because you just love what you do? Like, you know, the difference is you love the passion that drives you. You like, you know, I love competing. I love dieting. I love, you know, all aspect. If that's the reason why you're coming back, I say go for it. But the mindset is, I want that 8th, you know.
Yeah.
winning 8 is going to put me in, or winning 9 is, you have nothing to prove. It's like, and the same thing about Kai. Love Kai to death, but when you've done what you've done for so many years and as elevate yourself to and always will be the people's champion, you have nothing to prove to anyone at this point. Like,
Yeah.
in a sense, it's like Kai have surpassed himself as for not having a title.
Yeah.
Because of the rivalry between him and Phil. Like, for so many years, that battle was unbelievable. So I feel as if, Kai ever coming back to compete, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Because the rivalry was always between him and Phil. So unless it's him and Phil battling out again, it's, it's one of those where it's going to be like, well, but he won the Olympia. It was against Phil. It's always going to be that, that little, well, if it was Phil, But again, I understand, being driven because of your passion, for the sport. It's like, coming back to compete because we love what we do. We are what we do.
Yeah.
Coming back to compete, we're like, hey, what? I just love this. He stayed in shape and he does everything that he does. But we'll see.
And shoulder pressing 3 plates for reps. I was like, yes, it's not bad.
That was after some good pancakes.
I was looking for pancakes. Right. Also, he had William Bonac on the other week, and he said that he told us that you gave him a little bit of help the last few days, help guide him in, and very kind of you, mate.
And I love William. And I've known William since he was a 212 bodybuilder, 202 bodybuilder.
That's right, 2012.
Yeah, we've been friends for a very long time. So
the British Grand Prix, wasn't it? British Grand Prix. Yeah, you
Actually,
won that one. Flex won the 212, and William was 4th or 5th place in that one, or 6th place, I think. And then he was 4th in Prague.
So
yeah.
I've talked to William all year long. Last year, and he was coming. We talked, and he's like, hey, if you have a minute to take a look at me. And for me, that's respect both ways.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, what? I could, I'll put you through, the ring of, posing, like I do this. It was great because we spent like, hours, until we're staying at just, night after night, just posing. Just posing and posing, but it was good because we get to catch up and, talk about our kids and our family and so forth. But, every night we were, downstairs in the gym in the hotel, just because we didn't stay at the hotel, so it was good. It wasn't all the hoopla and everybody else, away from everything, so we could just relax and, just fine tune a couple of poses and,
Nice.
I think he should have placed higher.
Do you? I'm thinking that top 5, mate, was very, very tight, and he was conditioned as he always was, but he'd lost like Phil. He kind of lost his pop and fullness. I think he said it was kind of in the last few weeks. He said he kind of he wasn't his normal full pop himself. He wasn't very happy with how he looked.
Yeah, but he has so much muscle on him.
Yeah.
That the appreciation when you're competing against him, you don't realize because you're in your own little world.
Yeah.
But I competed and I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy shit.
He's a beast, isn't he? And he's got it's real quality muscle, isn't it? Like that readable bicep. It's like everything's just so thick and tight and everything's conditioned and separated and it's quality.
Sitting there, I'm like, I didn't realize how thick he was. Like,
yeah.
The back of my mind, it was like,
yeah,
holy crap! Like, okay, like that's a lot of muscle in this little frame.
Yeah.
But William was a great guy, man. He's a really great guy, and I'm thankful for friends like that. Because again, there's been in 2000, 17, I remember when I took fifth, walked off stage. William was one of the first person that was like, bro, you know what? He was like, don't hold your head down, bro.
Yeah.
You did great. He goes, you'll be back.
Yeah, I think you proved him right on that one, mate. The year after.
And for me, I was just kind of like, thanks, bro. Appreciate that, man. So, but we've always, whatever it's DM or text message or having a call, it's friends, for such a long time, and for him just to be like, hey, bro, can you take a look at me? I was honored. It was like, wow, yeah, man, I appreciate that.
I think it's really nice because like when because him and Rowley, Ruley, I keep saying his name wrong, Ruley, they seem very, very genuinely close. They seem like really good friends. They visit each other, and it's nice to see you guys connecting because you've all competed against each other. You've beat him, he's beat you, and it's nice to see that there's a genuine kind of respect amongst like most of you guys.
It's, Rowley's the same thing. I probably talked to Rowley.
Sorry, Ruley. He told me off for saying his name wrong. He told me off. And I'm gonna correct you as well, Shawn. Ruley.
Probably, more messages. Ruley, the same thing. At least once a week.
Yeah.
Same thing with Flex. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Flex on the stage in the Open.
Yeah.
I think you need that in the sport. We all are trying, we've all been trying to do the same thing as to be the best. We all want to be Mr. Olympia. But I think at the end of the day, that friendship is what pushes you. You have to have that. Okay, back in the days, you remember seeing videos at Gold's Gym. And you would see Flex, Chris, you'll see Paul Dillette, you'll see Tom Prince.
Yeah.
You see these guys, training together.
Yeah.
You see them all in that one mirror posing with Charles Glass. And then you see them on stage, and it's just kind of like you need that. I think you need that. You need that camaraderie where you could go on stage and battle and then be like, let's go grab a bite.
Yeah.
Or you could go in the gym and train, and even you guys are training for the same show, push each other. Yeah. Bring your best, because you're looking over and you're like, man, Flex is killing it. And Flex is looking over at you and go, man, Rhoden is, I don't know what got into him today. Like, and I did that at Gold's Gym with Dexter, because, he's Mr. Olympia, So when I see Dex walk with his swagger, I'm like,
swagger.
I'm looking around the corner, like,
yeah.
Okay, if I'm that motivated by that, I should be in the gym, So I think, having a group of guys now that, share that much friendship, but at the same time, it's like, I'm going to see you in a couple of months on stage, bro. Be ready, stage and pose and enjoy the moment, and fight.
See, whether it's
but walk away. I brought my best today, but we're better.
See, whether it's rivalries or camaraderie, I think that kind of, if you've got that competitive spirit in you anyway, it doesn't matter whether you hate the guy, you love the guy, you're still going to want to be the best version of you so you can beat them. Like I said, like you go back and forth, you'll beat Dennis Wolf will beat you, and all these different, on a different day, a different guy wins, so it's, it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, exactly. You can see that now, I think the guys that are coming up, amount of respect for each other, but at the same time, friendship.
Yeah.
And I think our sport need that, It's like, if you're watching basketball and you see, LeBron, he goes over and, talk to Kyrie, even though they're in the same team, but they're not anymore. But, they still have, that friendship, but when on the court they're playing. But they get a break, they're standing there talking to each other, as much as people might think they're not friends, but they're like, they're out there, they're chit-chatting. And they're like, hey, but they go out and they play. And they go out there and fight for it. I think people need to see that in our sport in order to think of us differently. Because I think at the end of the day, they just think, all right, there's a bunch of guys that walk around and flex their muscles in a mirror. and that's it. They're selfish, and we need to kind of come together as one and have that bond among us where people look at us differently, because just like any other sport, we're athletes.
Yeah.
I think it's taken away from us at times because of our actions, and people think that we're arrogant or whatever it is, but we're not all the same. If they see us doing more things together, it kind of like, well, you know what? These guys are just like any other athlete. They go out and they battle for it, but at the same time, they're at the Children's Hospital doing charity work together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, you trained yesterday with Flex Lewis. We're going to see any good, cool training videos of you two training together, please?
Coming soon.
Come on.
We actually, that's one of the things that we're talking about is, do some stuff together once, his gym is fully put together here in Vegas.
Yeah.
We definitely going to do, we plan on doing some, balls to the walls, you got this kind of training.
He did tell me, though, you're going to have to change your nickname Flexitron. He said he can't have two flexes in the same gym. Sorry.
What? I'm the elder statesman here.
No. So you have to call yourself a Tron, okay?
I'm gonna hold on to that because of age.
Oh no, total age rights. Okay. Flex and his Flex Lewis and a Tron. Okay, so Mr. Rhoden.
I'm older one here. I'm gonna use my senior card on there. I'm like, hey, ARP,
yeah. Nice. All right, then, Shawn. Well, this has been amazing. I really want to just get. I said, please just give us even 20 minutes, and you're giving us over double, mate.
It's funny because I didn't see your message that you sent the DM.
Yeah. They always say that.
Coming to the picture, and I was like, oh. So I'm flipping through my box, and I was like, oh crap! And I told Laura, I was like, man, I feel so bad. I was like, just so many messages at times that, going through each and every one of them, like, but be a way that I could put the asterisk or something, on certain people, because, I've gotten it a few times, and like, hey, I sent you a message, and I'm like, you did? Because I go on Instagram, I made my post, and I'm off.
Right, okay.
But I'm getting better at it.
Good. Well, that's good to hear. No, I really appreciate you coming on again, mate, and I hope Laura's fine. And I've heard Laura's got something launching soon, maybe, potentially. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes. Got a couple of things in the work.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Today?
I've got insider information, you see.
Well, there might be something today that she's such a perfectionist that.
Okay.
No, you don't understand. Like.
You didn't make the bed right, Shawn.
I don't know. She's getting ready. She's been working in something, and it's like, I don't like that font. That S. I don't like the way that S look.
Good.
Maybe I don't like this color, and it's been like, I'm just like. Listen, I understand you might not like that, but Giles might like it. Like, that might be what he's looking for.
No, you've got to be a perfectionist when you're launching your own things.
But, it shows a lot that it's not just about just putting something out there, but putting something out that she could put her name on.
Yeah.
And, I commend her for that, because a lot of people don't do that. But she's taking the time. This could have been launched probably 2 weeks ago. But she's just making sure that everything is where she wants it to be, so the appreciation could see that, she's been working on it for a very long time, and she just wants to make sure that it's not something that people looked at and be like, oh, this was rushed, because this has been, very, very, very timely, where I fell asleep a couple of times. Like, it's good.
No, that's someone that's someone in what, like you said, that's someone who cares about their reputation and the quality and what they're putting out. And like I said, I won't say any more, but we'll obviously stay tuned to our Instagram, and you can see what we're kind of alluding to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right, then, Shawn Rhoden, thank you so much for coming on, mate. It's great to catch up, and I'm glad to see you and Laura Lee are doing great, mate.
You guys have been amazing, guys. Always appreciate it anytime. So you're one of the few people. I think you and Mad Max.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
JKT, the only two people that I talk to.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Limited group. I just, I realize there are people that are genuine and people that are just full of shit, pardon my French. And, at the end of the day, I love talking to people that's genuine. So I appreciate your time. Thanks to all you amazing fans for your support. We'll see you guys soon.
Okay. All right, then, Shawn. Speak to you very soon. And a big hug to Laura Lee, please.
Sir, thank you.
Thanks, Shawn.